everybody, how are you? I hope you are all doing great and preparing well for your upcoming UGC NET exam for June 2025. Yesterday we have discussed the June 2024 PYQs. Only 100 questions we have done because of some technical issues I was facing. So today I have brought the remaining questions. I do not want you to miss any single questions from PYQs and especially the chronologies and matching, because 30 to 35 or questions you will see from chronology and matching. So in this video you will practice the questions after 101. So before starting the class, it's a request everybody, if you are new to the channel, do like, share and subscribe. Do subscribe to those students who are also preparing for their dream to become an assistant professor. Okay, so let's start with the question number 102. So here is question number 102 on your screen. Arrange the following campus novels in the correct chronological order of their publication. Option A, you have J.M. Coet's Disgrace. B. Malcolm Bradbury's The History Man. C. Mary McCarthy's The Groves of Academy. D. Evelyn Waugh's Brideshade Revisited. And option E, you have Philip Roth's The Human Stain. What could be the correct answer? You have to arrange these campus novels in the correct chronological order of their publication. That means which were published first and then later on. So the correct answer of this question is going to be the option 2. Option 2, that means we have to arrange the first Brideshade Revisited. Second, we have to arrange the Groves of Academy. Third, you have to be The History Man. Then A, Disgrace, and the last one you have to arrange The Human Stain. Let's see the correct option with the year. Okay, so here is the correct option. Brideshade Revisited published first, that is in 1945. The Groves of Academy in 1952. The History Man 1975. Disgrace would be first, it is error. Disgrace would be fourth, and the last one you have Human Stain 2000. So this is the correct chronology of their publication. Do remember, okay? Let's move on to the next question, everybody. It's a request to everyone, do practice chronology and matching questions as per their theorist, concepts, term, text, publication, birth year of the writers. Everything they will put in chronology, and they will try to trick you, but you have to be very careful while solving these type of questions. Next question, you have arranged the following text in the correct chronological order of their publication. Again you have to arrange them in chronology as per their publication. So option A, you have The Pilgrim's Progress. B, you have Beowulf. C, Endymion. D, The Fairy Queen. And E, Paradise Lost. Options you can see A, 1, 2, 3, 4. What could be the correct answer? I would like to tell you, if you are facing such question, always find the first work that has been taken from the history, or the very first when English was started, and then find the last one, that means from the contemporary world, the modern world. If there is such work mentioned, put the first that has been taken from the history on the first in chronology, and the modern work from the last. This way it will be helpful for you to eliminate the other options, and it will also help you to find the correct answer. So the correct answer of this question is going to be the option second, B, D, E, A, C. That means first work you have Beowulf, very first tragedy. Second you have The Fairy Queen by Edmund Spenser. Third you have Beowulf is Anonymous. Okay. E, next you have Paradise Lost by John Milton. Next you have The Pilgrim's Progress, I'm forgetting the name, and the last one you have Endymion by John Keats, right? So this is the correct chronology of their publication. Let's move on to the next question, everybody. You can see here I have mentioned everything. Beowulf was 18th to 11th century. The Fairy Queen 1590 to 1596. Paradise Lost 1667. The Pilgrim's Progress 1678. Endymion 1888. Right? This is the correct chronology. If you want to see here, Paradise, the Pilgrim Progress, yes, it is by John Bunyan. Released in 1678, this Christian allegory is one of the most significant religious works in English. Paradise Lost, you know, it is by John Milton, first published in 1667, and this grand epic poem tackles theological and philosophical questions. Fairy Queen, also by Edmund Spenser, published in 1590 and 1596, this allegorical epic celebrates Elizabethan values. Beowulf, composed between 8th to 11th centuries, this Old English epic is the earliest known work in English literature. And the last, Endymion by John Keats, published in 1818, a key romantic poet celebrating and mythology, beauty and mythology. Okay, now let's move on to the question number 104. So question number 104, you have arranged the following works in the correct chronological order of their publication. C. First one, Ahmad Ali's Twilight in Delhi. B. Chaman Nahal's Azadi. C. Manohar Malgaonkar's Distant Dream. D. Mulk Raj Anand's Untouchable. And E. K. A. Abbas, Tomorrow is Ours, a novel of the India of today. From Indian writer. Indian Pakistani, they can have mixed. What could be the correct answer? As per their publication, you have to guess the correct chronology. Let's see the correct answer. Option 1. Option 1, that means you have to arrange them in chronology. Option 1, the first one. This is the first you have to put Untouchable, that was published in 1935, I guess. Second, you have A. Ahmad Ali's Twilight in Delhi. Third, you have E. Tomorrow is Ours, a novel of the India or today. Next we have C. Manohar Malgaonkar's Distant Dream. Fourth, and the last one, B. Chaman Nahal's Azadi. This is the correct chronology of their publication of these works. See the year. The correct chronological order: Mulk Raj Anand's Untouchable 1935, Ahmad Ali's Twilight 1940, K. A. Abbas' Tomorrow is Ours, a novel of the India of today 1943, just before our freedom 4 years back, Manohar Malgaonkar's Distant Dream 1959, and Chaman Nahal's Azadi 1975. These are the publication year of these works. These writers have been taken from the mid 20th century Indian English. Mulk Raj Anand's Untouchable 1935, a pioneering novel that confronted the harsh realities of caste discrimination. Ahmad Ali's Twilight in Delhi 1940, a beautifully written portrait of the fading Mughal culture under British rule. K. A. Abbas' Tomorrow is Ours 1943, a progressive novel reflecting political aspirations during India's independence struggle. And the last one you have Manohar Malgaonkar's Distant Dream 1960s, focuses on the socio-political changes around independence, and the Chaman Nahal's Azadi, a landmark partition novel capturing the trauma and displacement of 1947, thus just like the Gadar movie. Displacement, the people have to leave their own place and shift it to the other. So this work based on. Next question. Do subscribe and join the Telegram channel for the PDF. Yesterday I have shared the cultural studies questions PDF on Telegram channel. If you have not joined yet, go join from the link given in descriptions and bio. Next question you have: arrange the following works of Black British writers in the correct chronological order of their publication. First one you have Yasmin Ali Bhai Brown's No Place Like Home, Mike Phillips' London Crossings, a biography of Black Britain, Echo Eason's Black Gold of the Sun, Searching for Home in England and Africa, George Lemming's The Pleasure of Exile, Cyril Phillips The European Tribe. What would be the correct answer? Black British writers. Black, so you know what type of people they fit into this category. See the options and try to find the correct chronology as per their publications. The questions you have not seen in the normal question, you will see in the chronology and matching. This is what NTA set, and this is the pattern of NTA that designed the question in such way to trick the students. Every time it is a trick or it is a pattern of NTA that they put three type of questions in the exam, that they will put some easy one, moderate and difficult level. So you don't need to get worried, but practice each type of questions, not just too easy, not too hard and moderate, but you have to maintain the balance. Correct answer of this question is option 2. Option 2, DEABC, that means George Lemming's The Pleasure of Exile 1916, publication year. Cyril Phillips The European Tribe 1987, Yasmin Ali Bhai's Brown's No Place Like Home, Mike Phillips London Crossing 2013, and the last one, Eco Asians Black Gold of the Sun, Searching for Home in England and Africa 2019. You can take a screenshot also according to their publication if you want, but do remember this, do not forget. PYQs is very helpful for your exam perspective. So this is the correct chronology. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 106 you have, which of the 19th century novels portrayed disabled characters? Disabled characters, that means differently abled characters. Option A you have Fyodor Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, B. Flaubert's Madame Bovary, C. Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, D. Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, E. Melville's Moby Dick. What could be the correct answer? You have to find out that in which of these 19th century novels disabled characters has been portrayed by the writers. So correct answer of this question is going to be the, I think, Christmas Carol, Pride and Prejudice. There is no disabled character. Let's see. Correct answer of this question is going to be A, D, E only. That means option 1 first. This is the correct. First, Crime and Punishment. Second, D. Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, and E. Melville's Moby Dick. Yes, in these works you will find the disabled characters. In these works you will find the disabled characters. Option A, option D, and option E. Okay. Next question you have to face is what type of disabilities you can see. Crime and Punishment features Raskolnikov's mental instability. Christmas Carol portrays Tiny Tim's physical disability, and Moby Dick includes Captain Ahab's missing leg. This is the, they can ask you these also. Next question everybody. 107 question, which of the following works are graphic narratives? Graphic narratives you have to find. First, The Feast of Roses by Indu Sundarsan, B. Bhimayana by Sri Vidya Natarajan and S. Anand, C. Munnu, A Boy from Kashmir by Malik Sajad, D. A Fine Balance by Rohinton Mistry, E. This Side, That Side, Restoring Partition by Vishwajyoti Ghosh. Correct answer, graphic narratives you have to find. Graphic narratives. Let's see the correct answer. Correct answer of this question is option 1, BCE. That means Bhimayana, Munnu, A Boy from Kashmir, This Side, That Side, Restoring Partition are graphic novels, while The Feast, Roses and A Fine Balance are prose novels. Graphic narrative novels, what it is? Graphic narrative combines visual art with textual storytelling. Okay, visual art and with textual storytelling, that is the graphic narratives. So Bhimayana, a powerful graphic narrative about Dr. Ambedkar's life and caste discriminations, do remember. And Munnu, a Boy from Kashmir, a graphic memoir depicting life in conflict ridden Kashmir, and This Side, That Side, a graphic anthology that reimagines stories of partition. Okay, next question. Question number 108 we have who among the following writers were associated with the Harlem Renaissance? Harlem Renaissance. One question you will definitely face from this topic, Harlem Renaissance. In PGT exam also this question appears. Option A you have Leslie Jennison, option B Stephen King, option C Alan Locke, option D Langston Hughes, option E Zora Neale Hurston. The writers who were associated with the Harlem Renaissance. You know what is Harlem Renaissance? You have to choose the correct options from the options given below. Options given here. Who are the writers? Correct answer of this question is going to be the, if I am correct, option 3. That means CDE, because Langston Hughes and Zora Neale Hurston, these are from the Harlem Renaissance. And next you have Alan Locke. Let's see the correct answer. Yes. Correct answer of this question is CDE, that is the third one. Let me tell you. It's problematic. Alan Locke, Langston Hughes, and Zora Neale Hurston were associated with the Harlem Renaissance. Harlem Renaissance was a cultural and intellectual movement among African American writers, artists, and thinkers in the 1920s and 1930s. The people who have been migrated from the other part of the countries and they have shifted to the place name Harlem, and they were it's like battling for their own rights, from American, that they have their own culture they have to follow. Nobody can refuse them, nobody can pressurize them to follow their rules and regulations or whatever their own culture. So this type of situations were arose at that point of time. So this is at this place, Harlem place, they have settled the Africans, and that thing, it is known as a Harlem Renaissance. So there are many writers actually. See the Alan Locke, known as the father of the Harlem Renaissance, editor of the New Negro Anthology. Langston Hughes, celebrated poet and key voice of the moment, and Zora Neale Hurston, renowned for her literary works on black folklore and life in the American South. Okay, so these are the correct answers. Do remember Harlem Renaissance. The writers you have Alan Locke, Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston. Okay. Next question. Okay, next question you have, which of the following works are categorized under science fiction? Which work you can put under the science fiction category? Option A, Haruki Murakami's The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. B, Wendy Ma's A Mango-Shaped Space. C, Umberto Eco's Travels in Hyperreality. D, Frank Schwarzing's The Swarm. And E, Kazuko Ishiguro's Never Let Me Go. Option you can see on the screen. You have to put them in the category of science fiction. Which work you can put this work under science fiction? They will fall. Okay, so correct answer to this question is going to be the option A. Option 1, ACE only. ACE only. Why is that? Because Haruki Murakami's The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, Umberto Eco's Travels in Hyperreality, and Kazuo Ishiguro's Never These are the works you have to put them in a science fiction category. Science fiction, okay? Frank Frank Schätzing's The Swamp, clearly science fiction dealing with ecological threats and marine life evolving in strange ways. Kazuo Ishiguro's Never Let Me Go, science fiction dystopian involving cloning and ethical questions about human life. Haruki Murakami's The Wind Up Bird Chronicle, not science fiction, it's a surreal psychological novel with magical realism. What we have to answer? Not science fiction or in a positive way. Which of the following works are categorized under science fiction? No? So option A, C and E. There is some problem, I think. A, C, E. So option A, C, E we have first Wind Up Bird, C, Umberto, Hyper Reality and Never Let Me Go. These are the works. Okay. There is some problem, I think. Not science fiction. They have mentioned the wrong. The answer is given in the negative way. Okay, no problem. I'll find out and tell you. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 110 you have, which statements are true about Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales? Now, the general prologue describes the meeting of 29 pilgrims in the Tabard Inn. First question option. Second option you have the Parson's Tale. The Parson's Tale is the introductory tale that deals with seven virtues. The Canterbury Tales is written in prose and verse of various meters. Only 23 pilgrims tell stories and there are only 24 stories told together. The Prioress Tale tells about the murder of a mother by a child. Okay, everybody, so try to guess the correct answer. You have to guess that in Canterbury Tale, what statements are true? Options you can see here. Correct answer of this question is going to be the option third, that is ADE only. ADE only. This is very popular work by Geoffrey Chaucer. So correct answer of this ADE only. ADE. A was the general prologue describes the meeting of 29 pilgrims in the Tabard Inn. Inn means hotel. Okay. And after that D. Only 23 pilgrims tell stories and there are only 24 stories told together. How? Because Geoffrey Chaucer himself told two stories. That is why 23 pilgrims and 24 stories has been told. And E. The Prioress Tale tells about the murder of a mother by a child. So these statements are correct about Canterbury Tales. See here. The general prologue introduces 29 pilgrims. Chaucer planned 120 tales earlier, but only 24 were completed. Let's move on to the next question. Next question you have, which of the following works fall under the category of LGBTQ? Option A you have Making is Connecting by David Gauntlet. Option B Detransition Baby by Torrey Peter. C Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McViston. Option D Nothing Ever Just Disappears by Diarmuid Hester. And option E Safe Space by Elisa Hume. What could be the correct answer? Which of the following works fall under the category of LGBTQ? There is some type of error the NTA put in the options. That's why they have to dropped and you will get the free marks from the drop question. So always do not forget any questions while facing. Correct answer, let's see of these questions. LGBTQ. Correct answer of this question is going to be the option 3. Option 3, that is C, D and E. C, it is a romantic LGBTQ plus novel centered around two male protagonists. Explores queer literary history, definitely LGBTQ, and is by known LGBT author focusing on queer themes. Queer themes C, D, and E. Here you will understand C, D, and E. Red, white, and royal blue. This is the LGBTQ. Nothing ever just disappears. This is also the LGBT, and Safe Space by Alisa. This is also the LGBTQ. Let's move on to the next question. Identify the plays that John Fletcher wrote in collaboration with Francis Beaumont. Option A, The Faithful Shepherds. Option B, The Loyal Subject. Option C, Cupid's Revenge. Option D, The Pilgrim. And option E, The Maid's Tragedy. John Fletcher wrote in collaboration with Francis Beaumont. John Fletcher collaborated with this writer. What could be the correct answer? So the correct answer of this question is going to be the option 4, that is D and E only. D and E only, that means The Pilgrim and The Maid's Tragedy. These are the collaborative work of these writers together. The Maid's Tragedy is a confirmed collaboration between Fletcher and Beaumont. The Pilgrim is sometimes associated with collaboration, though it is primarily Fletcher's. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Next question we have identify the historical plays not written by Shakespeare. Shakespeare. Henry the Third, option A. Option B, Richard the Third. Option C, Richard the Second. Option D, Henry the Fifth. And option E, Richard the Fifth. What could be the correct answer? See the options. Which plays are not written by Shakespeare? Not written by Shakespeare. Historical plays. Be the correct answer? So the correct answer of this question is going to be the option 4, A and E only. A and E only. What is that? That means A, Henry the Third, not written by Shakespeare, and E, Richard the Fifth. So who wrote this work? Henry the Third, not such a play by Shakespeare. Misnomer Shakespeare wrote Henry Fourth, Henry Sixth in 3 parts, not Henry Third. Richard the Fifth, not a Shakespearean play nor a real historical figure in drama. So A and E are not by Shakespeare. Let's move on to the next question. Next question you have, who among the following are the recipients of the Nobel Prize in Literature? Recipients of the Nobel Prize in Literature. Option A, Orhan Pamuk. Option B, Somerset Maugham. Option C, Harold Pinter. Option D, Margaret Atwood. And option E, Herta Müller. What could be the correct answer? Not a recipient of Nobel Prize in Literature. Not a recipient of the Nobel Prize in Literature. The correct answer of this question is going to be the option 4, A, C, E only. A, C, and E only. Who is that? A. Orhan Pamuk won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2006. Harold Pinter received the Nobel Prize in 2005, and Herta Müller was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2009. So options A, C, and E, that is Somerset Maugham and Margaret Atwood, although renowned literary figures, have not received the Nobel Prize in Literature. Okay, the correct options A, Orhan Pamuk, C, Harold Pinter, and E, Herta Müller would be the correct answer. Next question you have, who among the following writers have played a significant role in the Australian Aboriginal movements? Very important. This type of questions they are going to ask, not just simple as Australian writer, Australian uh, work, but aboriginal movements they have started asking. Option A, you have Judith Wright. Option B, Odgiro Nonukal. Option C, Jack Davis. Option D, David Malouf. And option E, Kevin Gilbert. What could be the correct answers? You have to find that who among the following writers have played a significant role in the Australian aboriginal movements. See the options and find the correct answer. Correct answer of this question is going to be the option 1, that is B, C, E. Option 1, B, C and E only. That means B, C and E. These are the writers who have played a significant role in the Australian Aboriginal movements. What is this movement? Oodgeroo Naunical was the first Aboriginal Australian to publish a book of verse and was a strong activist for Aboriginal rights. Jack Davis was an Aboriginal playwright and poet who focused on Indigenous issues. Kevin Gilbert was an Aboriginal activist, writer, and artist involved in Aboriginal rights. Judith Wright was a supporter of Aboriginal land rights but was not Aboriginal herself. And David Malouf is a prominent Australian writer but not specifically associated with Aboriginal movements. So do remember these names. Oodgeroo Naunical, Jack Davis and Kevin Gilbert are the writers who belong to the Aboriginal Australian rights. Next question. Which of the following stories deals with the theme of partition? Option A, Thanda Ghost. Option B, Gharwali. This is how we have to read, no? It's in Hindi. C, Jila Watan. D, Lajwanti. And E, Rudali. Options you can see. Which of the following stories deal with the theme of partition? You have to tell. Partition. I don't know when my Nazla is going to be recover. It's problematic for me to speak. Correct answer of this question is going to be the option 3, that is A, C and E only. A, C and E only. That means A, Thanda Ghost, C, Jila Watan and E, Rudali. What are these works? Theme on partition. Sorry. Thanda Ghost by Sadat Hassan Manto directly deals with the aftermath of partition and its impact on human relationship and morality. Jila Watan also addresses displacement and identity struggles post-partition. And Lajwanti by Rajinder Singh Bedi is a prominent partition story focusing on women affected during the communal riots. Okay, so these are the works. Next question. Next question you have, which of the following definitions statements are correct? Option A, the term nation language was coined by Derek Walcott. Option B, poetic justice is a term invented by Thomas Rhymer to convey the idea that evil is punished and virtue is rewarded. C, the term neo-colonialism was coined by Ngugi wa Thiong'o. D, nihilism is a word invented by Turgenev in his novel Fathers and Sons. And E. Caxton, in preface to Malroy's Le Morte d'Arthur, listed the 9 heroes of late medieval literature. Find the correct answer, everyone. Definitions statements are correct, you have to tell. Correct answer of this question is going to be the option 3, that is B, C and D only. B, C and D. B, that means poetic justice is a term invented by Thomas Rhymer to convey the idea that evil is punished and virtue is rewarded. C, the term neo-colonialism was coined by Ngugi wa Thiong'o, correct. And D, nihilism is a word invented by Turgenev in his novel Fathers and Sons. So these are the correct answers. Next question. Question number 18, you have 118. Which of the following statements are correct? See the statements what are. So statements you have, a diegesis is a term used by Plato to mean statement and by Aristotle to mean narration. B, Michael Foucault's term biopolitics refers to the attempts of the government to rationalize the problems. C, hypertext is a term that refers to second degree literature made up of works which allude to or derive from hypertext. D. Desiring machines is a concept introduced by Antonio Gramsci. E. Dream work is a psychoanalytical term to describe the mechanism that transforms raw material of a dream to its manifest content. When the options are long, you have to read the questions very carefully. Questions, no, not questions, but the options. This can be tricky. Very calm and composed you have to be while facing and reading such questions. Don't need to be panic at all. Once you will read it carefully, you will definitely guess the correct answer. So let's see the correct answer of these questions. Correct answer of these questions is option 4, B, C and E only. B, C and E only. That means B, C and E. Foucault's term biopolitics refers to the attempts of the government to rationalize the problems. Correct statement. Hypertext is a term that refers to second degree literature made up of works which allude to or derive from hypertext. And E. Dream work is a psychoanalytical term to describe the mechanism that transforms raw material of a dream to its manifest content. So these are the correct statement. Let's move on to the next question. 119. Read the question first. Which of the following statements are true about Bhavbhutis Taramacharita? This is how you have to read, no? Sorry. Yes, so the option A, you have the time space of the play is divided into two broad sections and acts. Second option, you have the first act of the play deals only with the birth and childhood of Rama. C. It is a play based on the Ramayana. D. Its theme has been derived from the last canto of the Ramayana. And E. In the second act of the play, Sita takes refuge in the hermitage of the sage Vishwamitra. Correct answer, everyone. Statements are too long, no? It's okay. We have also grown up, so this is nothing. So correct answer of this question is going to be, what do you have to find out? The following statements are true about Bhavbhutis Uttara Macharit. Okay, so correct answer of this question is going to be the option third, B, C and D only. B, C and D. B, C and D. That means the first act of the play deals only with the birth and childhood of Rama. Second, it is a play based on the Ramayana. And D, its theme has been derived from the last canto of the Ramayana. Let's move on to the next question. Next question you have, which among the following statements are true about Panchtantra? See what type of questions they will put you. Panchtantra, you have to find the correct statements, true statement about it. Option A, Panchtantra is a descendant of Hitopdesh. Hitopdesh. Option 2, it is a manual for the instructions of the sons of a king in the principles of good conduct. Option C, the first book deals with the adventures of a tortoise, deer and a cow. D, Tantra is one of the oldest reactions of Panchtantra. And E, Panchtantra is divided into 5 parts. What would be the correct answer? Correct statement about Panchtantra. In our childhood, how much we have studied about this Panchtantra, and we never knew that someday we will face questions from such stories. If we would have any idea at that point of time, we should have memorized everything. What do you say? So correct answer of this question is, let's see, option 3, B, D and E only. B, D and E. Option B, D and E. It is a manual for the instructions of the sons of a king in the principles of good conduct. Tantra Tantra Khaika is one of the oldest reactions of Panch Tantra, and Panch Tantra is divided into five parts. Panch, that means panch, right? Five. Okay. Next question. You want to see the explanation. Panchtantra is a descendant of Hitopdesh. Incorrect. It is actually the Hitopdesha that is based on and derived from the Panchtantra, not the other way around. It is a manual for the instructions of the sons of a king in the principles of good conduct. It is a correct. The first book deals with the adventures of a tortoise, deer, and a cow. This was the wrong. And D. Tantric Haika is one of the oldest reactions of the Panch Tantra. It was true. And Panch Tantra is divided into five parts. That means five principles. And it is traditionally divided into five sections. So these are the correct answers. Next question. Now, which among the following statements are true about the autobiography of an unknown Indian? Autobiography of an unknown Indian. Let's see the options. Sorry. It is an autobiographical text written by Nirad C. Chaudhary. It is a text of partition literature, unabashed Anglophilia of the author made this work controversial. It was published in 1951 and it primarily raises the question of communal conflicts. What could be the correct answer? You have to find out the correct statement about the work, the autobiography of an unknown Indian. Unknown Indian. True statement. See the options very carefully. So the correct answer of this question is going to be the option 1, A, C and D only. A, C and D. A. It is an autobiographical text written by Nirad C. Chaudhary. Do remember, an autobiography of an unknown Indian is by Nirad C. Chaudhary. C. Unabashed Anglophilia of the author made this work controversial. And D. It was published in 1951. These are the correct statements about this work. Let's move on to the next question. Next question you have. Sorry. Which of the following parameters are emphasized in MLA Handbook's 9th edition chapter titled Principles of Inclusive Language? Option A, you have avoid negatively judging others' experience. Option B, use a dictionary to check for offensive terms. Option C, extensive use of pronouns. And option D, any format for capitalization and styling. You have to find out the parameters are emphasized in MLA Handbook's 9th edition chapter titled Principles of Inclusive Language. Principles of Inclusive Language. MLA 9th edition, 8th, the current one and the last one you have to prepare. This is how the question you will see. Let's see the correct answer. Correct answer of this question is going to be the option 3, A, B and E only. A, B and E. That means A, B and E. Avoid negatively judging others' experience. Use a dictionary to check for offensive terms. And E was make reference to identify relevant sources. So this is the correct options. Okay, so this is the correct answer. What is that? According to the MLA Handbook 9th edition, the principle of inclusive language focus on respectful and accurate communication. It encourages avoiding negative judgments about other identities or experiences, Using dictionaries or reputable sources to identify offensive or outdated terms, and it also encourages making references that responsibly acknowledge aspects like race, gender, ethnicity, and disability. So these are the correct options. That principle of inclusive language focuses on respectful and accurate communication as per the ninth edition of MLA handbook. Next question. Next question you have, which among the following are not the genuine sources of the sublime as cited by Longinus? Option A, you have creation of imaginative feelings. Option B, the command of full-blooded or robust ideas. Option C, the inspiration of vehement emotion. Option D, nobility of spontaneity. And option E, the general effect of dignity and elevation. What could be the correct answer? Remember, not the genuine source of the sublime as cited by Longinus. What could be the correct answer? See the options and try to guess the correct one, everyone. Also, I am not habitual to speak and remind you again and again to do subscribe. If you're liking the session, if you know that I can improve, please like, share and subscribe. And if you have any confusion, doubt, do feel free to comment in the section below. And also join the Telegram channel for the notes and PDFs and other informations and updates about the classes. So correct answer of this question is not the true about Longinus. So option second, A and D only. Option A and D only. What is that? See the statement. Rather than see just the answer, you have to see the statement that why it is not correct. A and D. That means creation of imaginative feelings and nobility of spontaneity are not the genuine source of Longinus. Longinus in the Sublime identifies five genuine sources of the sublime. What is that? First, great thoughts or ideas. Second is strong and inspired emotion. Third, appropriate figures of speech. Fourth, noble action. And fifth, dignified composition or elevated arrangement. You can take the screenshot. These five genuine source of the sublime by Longinus you can memorize. Great thoughts or ideas, strong and inspired emotion, appropriate figures of speech, noble diction, and dignified composition or elevated arrangement. Next question, everyone. See the question first. So next question you have, which statement rightly define or describe utopia and dystopia? Option A, you have Sir Thomas More's Utopia 1516 is an essay in 4 books. Option B is saying Sir Thomas More was the first to apply utopia to the literary genre when he named his imaginary republic Utopia. C. Thomas More's Utopia was originally written in English. And D is saying Orwell's 1984 and Aldous Huxley's Brave New World are dystopian anti-utopian text, and E is saying More's Utopia was translated into French, German and Spanish by Ralph Robinson. How long the options are? See the options here and try to guess the correct one. I'm also preparing the June 2023, and if we left the time June 2022 also I will bring you the questions. It will take too much time to prepare the questions, analysis, explanations, answers, everything, and check whether if the answers are correct or not, so that you can get the right. What would be the correct answer, everybody? Correct answer of these questions is option 3, that means B and D only. B and D only. What was the question? The statements that rightly define or describe utopia and dystopia. So B and D. This is the correct. Thomas More was the first to apply utopia to the literary genre when he named his imaginary republic Utopia. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 125. Which of the following statement are correct? The term performativity was coined by Derrida. B. The idea of meme was originally coined by Richard Dawkins. C. The term the culture industry was coined by Adorno and Horkheimer. D. The term ideological state apparatus was coined by Bakhtin. And E. The term womanism was coined by Alice Walker. Which statements are correct? They are asking you the correct statements repeatedly, whether it's about the concept, the writers, or their respective work. My nosy is getting blocked. I am not able to speak properly. So the correct answer of this question is going to be the option 4, B, C and E. B, C and E. B, C and E. That means the idea of meme, you have to find the correct statement now. Idea of meme was originally coined by Richard Dawkins. C. The term the culture industry was coined by Adorno and Horkheimer. And E. The term womanism was coined by Alice Walker. These are the correct statements to remember, to memorize. Next question. Next question, everybody. Now, matching. Next question. It's a matching. Match the list that is in author and list second the text. So you have to match from the A 1 to second. A, you have Sally Morgan. B, Monica Claire. C, Ngugi Garimara. That is Doris Picklington. And D, Alexis Wright. And there is the text. Caro Bran, Caprice of Stockman's Daughter, and My Place and Plains of Promise. Here is the options you can find out. Match the author from the text. What could be the correct answer, everybody? This video is also going to be long. So correct answer of this question is option 2. That means A third. Let's match this. 2. A third. That means My Place. Sally Morgan, My Place. B first. Monica Claire, Caro Bran. C second. Ngugi Garimara, Caprice, and Alexis Wright, D4. This is the correct matching of this author and their text. Let's move on to the next question. I just wanted to brought this chronology and matching so that you do not miss any single question from the UGC NET 2024. If the video is long, do watch by increasing the speed, but do watch and practice as accordingly. Sally Morgan, My Place, correct. This is a well-known autobiographical work. Monica Claire, that was from Caro Brand text. Authored Caro Brand, The Story of an Aboriginal Girl. Ngugi Garimara, Doris Pilkington, Caprice, Stockham's Daughter. She wrote this as well as Follow the Rabbit-Proof Fence. Next question. This is also matching. Match the list first with list second. First, you have to post colonial writer and second text. See the options here. Ngugi wa Thiong'o, M.A. Caesar, C. Franz Fanon, and D. Chinua Achebe. What could be the correct answer? You have to match accordingly. Ngugi wa Thiong'o, these are the post-colonial writers, and this is the text. Okay. I'm just hoping if the subscriber increases, I will bring you the pen tablet and teach you properly. It will help you to understand and focus on, concentrate. And this way I will also feel comfortable teaching you. It will feel like that I'm teaching you. Whether it's online or offline, teachers are teachers. They should teach the students with their passion, full passion, so that students will understand everything. Not So the correct answer of this question is going to be the option second. Option second. That means you have to match option second. A third. Ngugi wa Thiong'o, the language of languages. B fourth. Amy Caesar, Discourse on Colonialism. C first, Franz Fanon toward the African Revolution. And D Chinua Achebe second, There Was a Country. Things fall apart by this writer. And also no longer at ease, the second part of the things fall apart. You must not miss this work because NTA asks the character, theme, first and second part, publication, everything they will ask you. So do not miss things fall apart. So this is the correct option of this question. Let's move to the next one. Again, there is a matching. Question number 128 you have. Now, the cultural critic, theorist, and list 2 you have a work. There is a cultural theorist who have given the work. So Raymond Williams, Herbert Marcos, Frederick Jameson, and Richard Hogarth. What could be the correct answer, everybody? Cultural studies topic, if you have seen, you will find out the answer, and if you have not watched yet, go to the description link or go to the playlist or go to the channel and see the unit 7 cultural studies and prepare everything. So what would be the correct answer? Cultural critic, theorist you have, and what are the works by them? You have again the matching. Option 1, list 1 you have a term, and list 2 critic and theorist. Option A, culture industry. B, anxiety of influence. Option C, cultural materialism. And option D, dialogism. What could be the correct answer? Here is Raymond Williams, Adorno and Horkheimer, Mikhail Bakhtin and Harold Bloom. There is the options if you can find the correct one. These are the terms and these are the theorists and critics. They have given these terms. What could be the correct answer, everybody? Correct answer, if you will find out, dialogism. Option D from you can match 3. If you know there is only one option here, that means option 3 could be the correct answer. Cultural materialism, C, Raymond Williams first, and after that B, anxiety of influence, Harold Bloom, and the first cultural industry, Adorno. This is the correct answer, option 3. So this is the correct answer, that means option 3, A second, B fourth, C 1 and D 3. See how by finding one correct you will able to find the everything right. Cultural industry, Adorno and Horkheimer, correct. Anxiety of influence by Harold Bloom, cultural materialism, Raymond Williams, and dialogism, Mikhail Bakhtin. These are the correct options. Let's move to the next question. Next question you have, again there is a term in list 1 and the definition. Epigram, B epigon, C diegesis, and D elision. See the options. The term and with their definition you have to match. So the correct answer of this question is going to be the option 4, A third. Option 4, A third, B first, C fourth, and D. Next question you have. Oh, so there is a mistake. I have forgot to put the options, but this is the correct answer I have arranged here. Options I have skipped. Next question number 131. Again, this is a matching. You have to match now linguistic grammatical term in list 1 and in list 2 meaning and definition. Option A you have this is also second, A, third. I just want to show you the correct answer. See. First, you have to linguistic grammatical term and second meaning and definition. Portmanteau word, a word formed by combining two or more words. Actually, when I was preparing, now I told you that it was like 2 a.m. Night. So this is what happened, that I have forgotten to put the options and put instead I have put the correct answer. As you can see, the options are correctly matched. No problem, you can just memorize this way. So portmanteau, what is word? It is a word formed by combining two or more words. Let me remove this first. Okay. So portmanteau word, a word formed by combining two or more words. Okay. Philology, what is it? Study of the historical development of languages over time. Phatic language, used for establishing an atmosphere and the communication of feelings rather than of ideas. And phantom world, a word that exists through the error of scribe, printer or lexicographer. Okay, so this is the correct answer, you must remember. When you prepare something alone and in such dedication, this type of mistake happens. I will try my best to not to do this. Okay. Question number 132. My aim was to just bring the chronology with the correct answer. So whether I have forgotten to put the question or options, do not worry, or you don't just, you have to find the correct answer, so at least you can get the correct one in your exam. 132, again you have to match list 1 comedy and list 2 playwright. Comedy and playwright. The Man of Mode, The Country Wife, The Old Bachelor, and The Provoked Wife. And here is the playwright Sir John Vanbrugh, William Congreve, William Washerley, and Sir George Etheridge. Options here: comedy and playwrights. See, from 102 we have started the how much questions of chronological publications, theorist terms, and matching. So if you will skip these questions, there will be loss, no? So the correct answer of this question is, everyone, option 2, A fourth, B third, C second, and D first. Second option. That means you have to match A fourth. Here is the Man of Mode, Sir George Etheridge, comedy playwright, and B third, The Country Wife, William by William Washerley, and C second, The Old Bachelor by William Congreve, and D first, that means The Provoked Wife by Sir John Vanbrugh. This is the correct option and matching the comedy and the playwrights. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question you have, question number 133. Match the list that has quote in the first one and in the second novelist. A. Happiness is but the occasional episode in a general drama of pain. B. Still, when you have nothing to say, when genuine passion moves you, say what you have got to say and say it not. C. Eternity is said not to be an extension of time but an absence of time, and devices are sometimes only virtues carried to excess. So what could be the correct answer? You have a quote in the list 1 and in the list 2 there is a novelist. The novelist who has given the quote, you have to match accordingly. See the options here. So let's see the correct answer. Correct answer of this question is option 2. A fourth, B 1, C third and D second. C options. Second. You have to match A. Drama of pain. Happiness is but the occasional episode in a general drama of pain. That means you have to A fourth. Graham Greene. B, you have to match with the first D.H. Lawrence. Be still when you have nothing to say. When genuine passion moves you, say what you have got to say. By D.H. Lawrence. C, third, eternity is said not to be an extension of time but an absence of time. C, third, Thomas Hardy. And vices are sometimes only virtues carried to excess. Second, Charles Dickens. This is the correct option. Quote by the writer's novelist. Next question you have. Happiness is but the occasional episode in a general drama of pain is quoted by Graham Greene. Be still when you have nothing to say by D.H. Lawrence. Eternity is said not to be an extension of time but an absence of time is Thomas Hardy. And vices are sometimes only virtues carried to excess is quoted by Charles Dickens. Move on to the next question. 134 question we have reached. You have to match a book's collection of poems with list 2 poet and choose the correct answer. In the first question you have books and collections. This is the list 1 and list 2 you have a poet. Option A, the Idyllies of the King. B, dramatic lyrics. C, sonnets from the Portuguese. And D, poems and ballads. What could be the correct answer? See the options also. So correct answer of this question is going to be the option third, that is A third, B fourth, C option third. Should we match? Okay. Sorry everybody. A third. You have to match The Idyllies of the King by Alfred Tennyson here. B fourth, dramatic lyrics by Robert Browning. C first, sonnets from the Portuguese by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And poems and ballads S.E. Swinburne. These are the correct matchings of the books collection and poets. One second. The Idyllies of the King is a cycle of 12 narrative poems by Alfred Tennyson retelling the legend of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Dramatic Lyrics is a collection of poems by Robert Browning, first published in 1842. Sonnets from the Portuguese is a collection of 44 love sonnets written by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And Poems and Ballads is a collection of poems by Algernon Charles Swinburne, that is A.C. Swinburne, published in 1866. These are the correct answers. Next question. 135, you have Dalit writer. Do not miss. I have prepared notes on Dalit writer. Separate video I will post on this because these are now highly important. So in the first option you have Dalit writer and list to language from which language the writer belong or categorized. So option A you have Lal Singh Dil, Urmila Pawar, Tulsi Ram and Devanur Mahadeva, and Hindi, Kannada, Punjab and Marathi. There should be Punjabi, no? So what could be the correct answer? Dalit writer you have to match with their language. See the options. Where is the option? Here. Choose the correct answer from the options given below. So the correct answer of this question is going to be the option third. That means A third, B fourth, C 1 and D second. Let's match. You have to match A third Lal Singh, go to the Punjab. Urmila Pawar, Marathi. Tulsi Ram, Hindi, and Devanur Mahadeva, Kannada. These are the correct. Okay, so these are the correct options. That means these are the Dalit writers and the language they belong from. Let's move to the next question. Here you can see Lal Singh Dil was a Punjabi poet and writer known for his work on Dalit issues. Okay, Urmila Pawar is a Marathi writer and activist. Tulsi Ram was a Hindi writer and Devanur Mahadeva is a Kannada writer. Question number 136. You have to match list 1 prize recognition with list 2 officially started in the year. First, Booker Prize, B. Pulitzer Prize, C. Nobel Prize, and D. Poet Laureate. What could be the correct answer, everybody? See the options. If you will find one correct answer, you will definitely guess the whole answer correct. Answer was Booker Prize was officially started in 1968. Pulitzer Prize was 1917 and Nobel Prize officially started 1901, and Poet Laureate as a position dates back to 1668 with John Dryden's appointment. Do remember. Next question you have, match the list 1 that is diaspora writer and list 2 work. Option A Vikram Seth, Option A Vikram Seth, B V.S. Naipaul, C Salman Rushdie, D Jhumpa Lahiri. Correct answer option 1 work you have from Heaven Lake, The Mask of Africa, Knife and the Lowland. See the options, diaspora writer and their work they have been. The correct answer of this question is option 2. Option 2, that is Vikram Seth is the author of From Heaven to Lake, V.S. Naipaul is the author of The Mask of Africa, Salman Rushdie is the author of Knife, and Jhumpa Lahiri is the author of The Lowland. Do remember this. Next question. Now you have to match the theater in the list 1 with the leading figure and the founder of that particular theater. So option A you have Abbey Theatre, option B Theatre of the Absurd, option C Hope Theatre, and option D Theatre of Silence. Here the founder you have Martin Esslin, W.B. Yeats, Jean-Jacques Bernard, and Philip Henslow. See the options also. Leading figure who was the founder of this particular theatre you have to find. What could be the correct answer? Let's see. So the correct answer of this question is going to be the option 1, that is A. Second, Abbey Theatre was founded by Yeats and there were 2 other writers also. B. First, that means Theatre of the Absurd by Martin Esslin. C. Hope Theatre, that is Philip Henslow, and Theatre of Silence was by J.J. Bernard, that is Jean-Jacques Bernard. Do remember this, okay? Let's move on to the next question, everybody. See, Abbey Theatre was co-founded by W.B. Yeats. Martin Esslin is a key figure associated with the Theatre of Absurd. Philip Henslow was the founder of the Hope Theatre, and Jean-Jacques Bernard is linked to the Theatre of Silence. These are the correct answer options that founded the theatre. Next, move on to the next question. So the next question you have list 1 woman novelist and list 2 the novel. Option A Fanny Burney, option B Anne Bront, option C Pearl Buck, and option D Nadine Gordimer. Options work novel they have given Agnes Grey, The Good Earth, My Son's Story, and Evelina. Please do subscribe also, everybody. So the correct answer of this question is going to be the option third. Option third. That means you have to match Fanny Burney, Evelina, B first, Anne Bronte, Agnes Grey, C second, Pearl Burke, The Good Earth, and Nadine Gordimer, My Son's Story. See the matching and do memorize. These are the correct women novelists with their novel. Let's move on to the next question. Again, you have to match list 1, you have retellings, and list 2, the author. They have retold the story. Next question you have option A, you have Sham, an illustrated retelling of the Bhagavata. Option B, War of Lanka. Option C, Ahalya's Awakening. Option D, Ajaya, epic of the Kaurava clan. See the options also. Here is the option. So the correct answer of this question is going to be the option 2, A third. Here you can see Sham, an illustrated retelling of Bhagavata, Devdutt Patnaik. War of Lanka, Amish Tripathi. Ahalya's Awakening, Kavita Kane. And the last one, Ajaya, Epic of the Kaurav clan, Anand Nilkantan. These are the correct answer. Now let's move on to the next question. Okay, so 140 questions we have done. Remaining 10, 140 to 150 questions, you know na, that is based on passages. So that is why I have not brought that. See, I have mentioned here that remaining questions, that is from 141 to 150, are from passage questions. So no need to solve that still, but you have to practice passage questions. And till the time, if I will till the time I will bring the next June 2023 paper analysis, do prepare well, and also subscribe the channel, press the bell icon to get the latest informations and post info, and kindly do inform about what topic you want me to bring further for your practice. And I will, after finishing the text unit wise, I will bring you the quick revision section. How many questions I have prepared in a day. So this is all for today. I hope you will prepare well, and do not need to worry, do not need to panic. Just prepare well, do well, and revise, retake, and focus on your weak point. Do analyze the questions, and at the last moment you have to give mock test by setting the timer. If you are preparing on appearing for the first time now, prepare mock test by setting the timer. So what do you have to do? Like, share and subscribe, and share with you among your friends. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support. Till then, take care and bye bye. Thank you.